AWBMG, the sports show premiere. New sports talk for your ear, your mindset. A reset in this division, in this dimension. So please pay attention, so up your comprehension. This is sports talk at its finest.
Hello and welcome to AWBMG Sports. I'm your host, Brooklyn J. Joining me today are Wesley Benz, who covers sports at International Leadership of Texas High School in College Station, Texas, and Allen Benz, a former high school basketball player. On today's show, we're diving into a variety of topics across the NBA, covering everything from recent developments to some of the biggest debates in basketball. We've got a lot to discuss today, so Wesley, let's start with you. What is your biggest takeaway from the NBA Finals?
So my biggest takeaway from this NBA Finals series is experience. Experience, man. Experience wins championships. That's just the bottom line for me. The San Antonio Spurs, they showed their inexperience, man. They had the talent, and they just couldn't get it done. You know, and the New York Knicks, they showed that they have the experience, and they got it done. San Antonio Spurs, they started off every game of this series well, but they didn't finish. Couldn't finish it. So fourth quarter was Knicks time. And that pains me to say as a Chicago guy, but a Chicago kid got it done for y'all, the New York fans, and Jalen Brunson. And so that's my biggest takeaway, man. Just experience and how to win championships. What's a reference, man? A reference is the Orlando Magic, the young Shaq team and Penny. What happened to them? Made it to the finals. They felt confident. Why? Because they had beaten the Houston Rockets earlier in the regular season.
True.
Now, what happened when they got to their finals? They didn't win a game. Not one game, so they got swept. Inexperience, had all the talent in the world, but it didn't help them get the job done.
I agree with you. My biggest takeaway from this series was Big Cat, because sometimes he can shrink when the game gets big. He surprised me because normally Wemby imposes his will and makes whoever is guarding him uncomfortable. It works for the Spurs. Big Cat actually was more aggressive than I've ever seen him, because sometimes he can shrink and become a kitten. But now we got to call the Big Cat a lion. Better yet, we got a new nickname for him. We call him Cat Daddy. That's right, New York. He the Cat Daddy.
Now, Wesley, what surprised you the most in the NBA Finals?
De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox surprised me the most. Everybody on the planet, and I'm not a professional basketball player, everybody on the planet in the sports world knew that De'Aaron Fox should have not went for that layup, that he should have held the basketball. But he didn't do that for some reason. His explanation was he was just trying to go up three. I'm not trying to hit that at all. But I'm not going to beat him up too bad. But these are things that you just got to know. You got to know that you need to hold that basketball.
I agree with you, but pressure is something else at the moment. But maturity helps a person when that happens. On the flip side, you've seen how someone who's ready for the moment in Jalen Brunson handled it at the right time. He knew when to attack. He knew when to involve his teammates. It was always about his team. And he's actually, no one else could take a bite out the apple but him, because he deserved it. You know what? He's the new Mac. Apple. Mac. Nice team.
And Wembanyama also. Wemby. He was scared at the free throw line. Nervous. Now you spend all that time with the who? Who did he go see? The Monks. Yeah. So you spent all that time with the Monks, and it still didn't help calm your nerves. So, Wemby, man, get the nerves under control. Go see the Monks again. Maybe spend a little more time. So when you at that free throw line, you can knock them down. And if there's anybody that I think that needs to develop Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's skyhook, get a signature move, is Wembanyama. He can pull it off in this modern era with that skyhook.
Yeah, and my thing is this. I see a lot of Giannis and Wembanyama. They're not afraid.
Giannis and Wemby?
Yeah, because they want that action, okay? But sometimes you're not ready for it when it comes to you. I know we'll see him again. He said in 100 days, he'll look to be back. And the way this is setting up with New York, solidifying the East, and now the East can get the love they deserve because they actually.
Okay, we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for your thoughts on the NBA Finals. It was definitely an exciting series, and fans are already looking forward to next season. Now, Victor Wembanyama represents the next generation of NBA stars, while veteran players continue to compete at a high level well into their late 30s and 40s. That brings us to our next question. Should the NBA ever consider putting a maximum age limit on how long players can continue playing? Allen, let's start with you.
Well, I'm going to have fun with this because I believe they should. Around about 35 to 36. And the perfect example of that is Michael Jordan. At that age, he was still the best player in the regular season, playoffs, and he wound up being the finals MVP. He was playing for the chips that matter. It wasn't about age and playing forever. It was about the most important chip. And unfortunately, we have players that are still good and productive, but if you're not playing for a championship, I guess if you're the other 23, you're playing for different chips.
Right, exactly. And my take on it, man, is it's not about the age of the player per se. It's about how many seasons they've been in the league. I do think the NBA should put a cap on how many seasons a player can be in the league. Maybe 20, max, maybe 25. I don't really want to see a player after 25 seasons. You know, for example, let me look at my notes here. See, you got LeBron James now. He's number one all time at 23 seasons played. Then you got Vince Carter at 22. Dirk Nowitzki at 21. Kevin Garnett at 21. Kevin Willis, 21. Robert Parrish at 21. Chris Paul at 21.
Wow.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at 20. Kobe Bryant at 20. And then Udonis Haslem at 20. That's enough. That's enough. We see you enough. We know what you can do.
Exactly.
After that, I think at some point it has to stop, right? You know, and if Father Time, if you're winning against Father Time like LeBron James, then it should be a cap on this, how many seasons you can play. Not necessarily your age. We know people doing some amazing things. We even got Allison Felix coming back now in track and field, trying to do her thing in her 40s. So it's not necessarily about the age to me, but the seasons played.
And just in closing, I agree with 100% with what you're saying. And fellas, keep this in mind in sports. When you go up for a layup and I can see your diaper, it's time to call it quits.
Yeah, wrap it up. Wrap it up, man. I just don't know why these guys want to keep going. I know the money's good and all that, but at some point, man, you're just tired of seeing a person out there, right? And then they start to dilute the statistics. You know, it's like, no, we don't want to see you break this record and break that record, you know, because you played for so long. No, you know, get it within a certain time frame, if you ask me.
I agree 100%.
So, Wesley, do you think performance matters more than age?
Does performance matter more than age? Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to see a player do well still, but I still don't want to see them just hanging around the league. You know, like I said, it doesn't really matter what age a person is, but no, the seasons played. That's what it's all about for me.
I agree. I don't want to see someone on 22 teams, and you know they're
just to hang around.
They're just on there. They have so many jerseys, you forget. Oh, he's on that team too, and they're not productive. If you're not going for a championship, I understand when you're young and you're drafted, you're happy to be there, and where the people are happy to watch you and watch you grow. Once you get to that certain age, your goals have to be to win.
Right. And
no one's mad at you on how you win. But after you win or you've played a certain amount of time, it's time to go.
Right. Udonis Haslem was at, for example, 20 years in the league. So So good for you, but as a fan, so what? So
Yeah.
you made it to 20. So at some point, stop. Just stop.
Just stop. And when your own kids don't wear your clothes, stop.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you guys. We'll end it there.